Alright. We are all good to go. Wait for a bit more, and then let's get started. Hang on. Move my microphone a little bit. Alright, so today we're doing drone stuff. So we're going to be making a whole bunch of these things. Yeah. So, start by getting rid of that because we don't want it. Power is looking kind of funky at the moment, but that's fine. Alright, so what we need to do is, first off, we need to set up a way of fueling our drones. Now, the easiest way to do that is going to be regular old packaged fuel. And coincidentally, I am right here next to two pure crude oil deposits. Now, regular old packaged fuel has some downsides, but it should at least be good to get it started and tested and working, and then I might switch over to batteries or turbo fuel if we're having problems. But until we have problems, I'm going to use just regular old fuel. Alright, so we're going to need to clear these guys out, which means preferably stealth killing the hatcher. I think aim a little higher up. Oh, something see me. Oh, thank you for not doing anything. I'm really glad you were apparently just standing there staring at me at point blank range and doing nothing about it. That's genuinely very convenient. Alright. Now let's... Yeah, okay. Gotta stay a bit farther away. They're ranged enemies, you see, so the scariest place you can be against them is up close. Obviously that makes sense. Alright. Nope. Alright. That's clear. And now we can set down our... Oh, that's a miner, obviously. Now we can set down our oil extractor and hook it up. So this is going to be 240 a minute, but I can increase that substantially if I need to with overcharging. Okay, now let's set up our foundation for this, which will be a bit above the ground, but not hugely so. Just a nice level place for the foundations to go. Alright. So now we have that. We need refineries. So in order for this to work, we need to make fuel and plastic. So I actually did not think this through like at all before sitting down and getting started. But So diluted packaged fuel is an option to get the most bang for my buck, and that would involve this recipe. Yeah, so I guess this is probably the simplest way of doing it. So we get a bunch of these. Hang on, I have to do math now. So we get 40 heavy oil residue and 20 polymer resin. Then we could turn the polymer resin into plastic at 60 to 20. So we would need 120 heavy oil residue to get 20 plastic a minute. And then empty canisters, we'd have 20 plastic a minute, would give us 40 canisters a minute, which would not be sufficient. So this would not give us enough plastic, I think. What if we just do the traditional fuel? There'd be 40 fuel to 30 polymer resin. So we would get 80 fuel to 20 plastic. And that would still only be 40 for 80. Alright, well, so we're not going to be able to do this all in one step, basically, is what I'm getting at here. So we're going to need to instead supplement with separate crude oil for the plastic. So let's just work out here how much additional plastic we would need. So this is 40 heavy oil residue, which gives us 20 polymer resin, which would, so 120 heavy oil residue would give us 60 polymer resin, which would give us 20 plastic. And in order to do the diluted fuel recipe, we would need 2 packages for every 1 heavy oil residue, which means we would need, for this ratio, we would need 240 what are they called, canisters or something? What are they actually called? Canisters, yes. So we need 240 canisters for this particular ratio, which would mean we would need 120 plastic. So we would need plus 90 plastic. That's in addition to the 20, no, we need plus 100 plastic. That's in addition to the 20 we need for, that we get for free. And in order to get 100 plastic, we would do the plastic recipe, which would also give us heavy oil residue in addition. So if we need... Oh, okay, my brain is hurting a little bit. This gives us 20 plastic and 10 heavy oil residue. So in order to get the 100 plastic, we would need 5 of this, which means that would produce 50 heavy oil residue. So then the end result would be 5 batches of this for 150 crude oil, and then I would need 70 heavy oil residue, which would be almost... No, hang on. This is more confusing doing it this way. Let's try just looking at the residual plastic recipe. Is there any other way of making plastic? Recycled plastic? No, that would be silly. That would be using up fuel and rubber to make plastic. Alright, so then this residual plastic recipe would take... We would have to have 5 of these, which would be like 300 polymer resin. Which, is there any way of getting that conveniently? Yes, and it also produces some heavy oil residue. Alright, now we have to do the math on this. So if we need 300 polymer resin, alright, let's... So these are the things we need. We need 120 heavy oil residue and 120 plastic. So, because those extra numbers are confusing. So this would be 3 batches of heavy oil would bring heavy HO minus 120 PR minus 60. So that would solve the heavy oil residue problem. Then the plastic, so we would need alright, well pure polymer resin, no. Where did I have that? Polymer resin is 3-to-1 with plastic. So this would be plastic minus 20. And then, let's see, residual plastic recipe No, we wouldn't. So we wouldn't want to do 3 whole batches of heavy oil residue, right? So if we do this instead, let's say we do 2 batches of this, then that would be polymer resin, 2 batches of PR would be heavy oil minus 40, PR minus 260, which would be plastic minus 65, I think. So now we have... Alright, but if we make this, then 2 batches of heavy oil, that would be 80, and this would be what, 13.5, I think, or 12.5. Hang on, wait. What's 20 divided by 3? 20 divided by 3 is 6.6. Yeah, I should have known that. That was obvious. So then this would be 13.33. So that gets me to all the heavy oil I need. But then I would still need like 22-ish plastic. So in order to get that, we could do residual plastic. No, we're already doing residual plastic, obviously. We could do the base plastic recipe. Oh, these ratios are difficult. Very difficult indeed. So we're just trying to get an exact ratio between heavy oil residue and plastic. The problem is everything that makes one thing also makes bits of the other. So let's see. We could partially use the regular fuel recipe to just get more polymer resin. It would be less efficient, but it is an option. So because we are currently missing like 20, what did I say, like 23-ish plastic. And we have all of the heavy oil we need. So we could generate more polymer resin by doing this, which would... we would need like 3 recipes of this, which is a lot of crude oil, just to round out the last bit. I don't like that. If we were to do a 3rd batch of this, would be up to 390 polymer resin, which would be 130 plastic. So then that would give us 60, 130. Is that right? It's 3-to-1, right? What's plastic to containers? No, it's 2-to-1, right? Polymer resin to plastic is 3-to-1. Alright, so we do 3 batches of polymer resin, and we get 130 plastic, which is all the plastic we would need, plus some. So what if we... So I don't like that. And then that would also give us more heavy oil residue than we need. So what if I take this last one down by 30? So then that would give us exactly the plastic we need at 76%. 2.76 would give us 120 plastic and heavy oil of like 55-ish. It's like 55.385, which is somewhat horrible. And then the heavy oil we could... So then we would need... How much heavy oil would we need after that? 120 minus 55.385. 120 minus 55.385. So we would need 64.6 heavy oil, which would be like 1.5. And so then we'd end up sinking some polymer resin anyway, and that just makes the math more complicated. So if this is 100% and we do 3 batches of this, then we would have 10 extra plastic that we can sink, and 60 heavy oil residue. And then we could do 1.5 batches of this, which would give us the other 60 heavy oil residue and 30 polymer resin, which would be 10 plastic to sink. So we'd end up at exactly the right amount of heavy oil and sinking 20 plastic, which honestly seems reasonable. Now, I guess... Yeah, I mean, that's not wasteful at all. I mean, technically it's marginally wasteful, and I'm sure I could get better numbers on Satisfactory tools. And in fact, I'm just gonna check. Packaged fuel. And what we wanted, like 240 a minute. What does this give us? Okay, well, this is not using the alternate recipes. Let me turn those on. Okay, now it's doing all sorts of weird shit with coated iron canisters for some reason. So let me disable that. Okay, so now oh, it wants recycled rubber recipe? Why does it want recycled rubber? Huh? And recycled plastic. Do I even have both of those? No, I don't even have both of those. So I will turn off recycled rubber. And now see what it says. Okay, now it wants to use steel canisters, which absolutely not. Steel canisters, disable. Alright, so now we're back down to crude oil and water. And oh, it does want to use recycled plastic. And so let's see. This would get us 240 packaged fuel a minute out of 129-ish crude oil a minute. My recipe that I came up with would use 45 crude oil there and 180 crude oil there. So like 200-ish. Alright, well this is certainly much more effective than what I came up with. Good old Satisfactory tools coming up with schemes that I never would have thought of. But honestly, I'm going to stick with mine. It's a little less convoluted, a little more intuitive. I just kind of like it more. So we're going to do that. We are going to first set up one refinery, two refinery. And get a pipe for these guys. Like so. And then hook them up. I have blueprints for this that I could have used. Probably too late now. So this is heavy oil residue. 50%. This is heavy oil residue, 100%. And we can hook them up to power cables and the crude oil pipe. Alright, so that's that set up. Next, we need 3 refineries making I mean, I don't know. I'm going back and forth on this. I think I will end up using the one Satisfactory Tools gave me because it is like literally twice as efficient, which certainly matters. So let's take all this nonsense down. Alright, so instead we need 4 refineries for heavy oil residue. So this is the input side, and we get 1, 2. and it somehow removed the blueprint. Three, 4. Alright, and then we take the fuel and we hook it up. So these are all set to heavy oil residue, heavy oil residue, heavy oil residue, heavy oil residue. And those two pipes connect. And then this last one is set to 56.4%. Or I guess more accurately, no, 56.4% is good. So we have that. Next, we need even more space here. Alright, we need one refinery for polymer resin, which we will set well apart over here. And then hook it in to the same pipe. So this is set to polymer resin alternate. And let's get power over here so I don't fall out of the sky. And hook that up there. And we do also need to hook all of these guys up officially. So let's go 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Alright, so that is the crude oil done. And this needs to be set to make how much polymer resin? Why is it split into 2? No, 48.75 polymer resin. 48.75. Which checks out. Alright, next up, we take the heavy oil residue and make diluted fuel out of 3 blenders, which will actually be my first time using blenders, so that's fun. Okay. Actually, these manifolds can be linked since all the outputs are the same on either side. It's solid polymer resin, liquid heavy oil. So let's get that. No, not there. There. And then you link in like that. And you link in like that. And then we take this pipe over. And we hook that down there. And we're going to need to upgrade these belts. Probably tier 3 will be enough. Alright, so we take this heavy oil residue and we stick it into 3 blenders. And I do not have a blender manifold pre-built. So we have 3 of these. And we pop in diluted fuel for all of them. And that is just heavy oil and water. No, not like that. Like that. And then you come along there. And you all get attached. And then we need a second pipe, which probably could have used a stacked pipeline support for that, but whatever. Alright, so then that has to line up like that, like that, and like that. Did that last one not line up properly? It didn't. Of course not. Alright, so then we take that, we hook that in there, easy peasy. Alright. Then we have water, which we need 300 of for that. And of course that's not in any of those, so we just need 300 water, which is 1, 2, 3. And pipeline Mark II. Actually, we need a total of 420 water. So I'll pop in another one. And pipeline Mark II, them all together. Like so. And then we take that pipe and we send it in there. Now we just have to hook the water up to power. And having pipeline Mark II sure is convenient. It means I can just have all 4 of these linked together and be fine. Although I do need to actually upgrade these pipes so that they can handle it. And knowing my luck, there's probably some weird thing where there's like a single speck of pipeline Mark I in there somewhere that messes the whole thing up. But I'm just going to hope that that isn't the case. And anyway, we have these. Now these need to be hooked up to power. The blenders. 1, 2, and 3. Alright. Then we have 3 refineries for residual rubber. For some reason. Genuinely no idea why. Assume it's more efficient for some reason. But no idea why they do that. Clearly it works though. Alright, so now we need 3 refineries, and I missed a row. So let's set up a refinery manifold, which is 1, 2, and line up, please, 3. And obviously there's an extra one in there, which we remove. And set these to residual rubber, residual rubber, residual rubber, which is going to take water, and let's see, where was, yes, the polymer resin. Does that work? Does that sneak under, or does it just clip through? It clips straight through. Good to know. 1, 2, 3. So instead, you will go up and stay up, and then drop down there. Hook into this. And there we go. Just have to hook these guys up to power poles. Hello, I do not use Twitter, so sorry about that, but not going to follow you back. Alright, so these are my 3 rubber refineries. And now I take the rubber and the fuel to turn it into plastic at 2 refineries. Alright, so in order to get the fuel out, I need to go here, and yeah, this is relatively straightforward. It is just a simple line there, no annoying side products. Alright, so we have the fuel. Now we take this up to the plastic. And right, these need to be hooked up because I missed them. And I think there's also a similar error to correct back here, because I'm using the same badly designed blueprint, which means that like 1 of every 2 is not hooked up properly. Alright, so there we go. That's that problem solved. And now we have our rubber and our fuel. So now we just need 2 refineries. Which will hook up like that. And apparently something evil has seen me. Hello. Please leave me alone. I'm sort of in the middle of something right now. There is a hard drive there, which I don't think I've grabbed. I might have. Ooh, there's a Mercer sphere back there too. That's fun. Alright. That's that guy dealt with. Where were we? Right. We attached this fuel up to that. And we set these to recycled plastic. which I guess is more efficient because of diluted fuel making things weird. So those are now hooked up to power, and alright, there's an entire family of hogs right over there. Please just leave me alone. Alright, they seem to be leaving me alone, so that's nice. At least we got that. So now we have all this plastic, and I assume we just, yep, 4 constructors, put it in a canister. Alright, constructor manifold. Boom. Boom. And I think those belts need to be upgraded. And these need to be set to empty canisters. And settings pasted. Gosh, it really is just an entire hog family over here. Let me clear these guys out real quick. Okay. You'd think they would, like, run more effectively. Alright, well, they're gone for now. Let's hook that up to there. And we need to grab power pole for these. 2, 3, and 4. Alright, canisters acquired. The hogs are back. At least one of them is. Not anymore. Alright, I'm just gonna fly over here. Alright, I think that one is dead. It's hard to tell, but it hasn't moved in a while. Alright, I probably got all of them. Alright, so now we have our canisters, which we actually need Mark III belts for. And we have our fuel, which we can pull up over this way. And we just need 6 packagers, and then we will be done with making packaged fuel. Alright, and do I have a packager blueprint? I have this thing. This is 4 packagers. Alright. These are going to be configured to do unpackage, right? So we need to tell these guys to actually do packaging. And just do the opposite of what you were doing. Thank you. 40, 80, 120, 160, and we need 2 more, which I'll just do manually. I just realized these manifolds aren't even correct, so this whole thing is basically pointless. There is the blueprint here ended up taking longer than not using a blueprint would have. So let's get rid of all of those. Let's set up a nice little pipe along the way. Yep. Like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6. And we hook all these up. Wait, I just realized that I do need the splitter manifold for this. So let's just get this back in here because we actually need to provide the packages that we've just made. And we hook them all up. And that last one wasn't aligned properly, but I don't care. Now we just run along, attach all of these in. And final hookup. Attach that in there. Take this fuel pipe, we put that in there. We grab the power cable. Huh? Oh, these are pre-hooked up to a cable. At least some of them are. That's convenient. Let's get the last two. Tell them to package fuel. And now we come over to this side. We are going to need more foundation. Another couple rows of that. And mergers. Alright, so now we have this. I assume these are gonna need, these are gonna need to be Mark III belts. And finally, we have our end product, which is 240 packaged fuel a minute, which now we need to build space for our first drone port. I have no idea how big these things are. Let's try something like that. Okay, drone ports are much smaller than I thought, although they're pretty wide. They're like, what, 4 by... no, they're like 3... yeah, they're like 3 by 3. Okay, that's easy enough. Alright, so we set that down. We have this, which, yes, needs to be split. So half of it goes into the fuel spot, and the other half goes into the cargo spot. And now we can rename this to fuel source. And yeah, I mean, it has no idea because it hasn't set up the destination yet, but this should, in principle, provide us with fuel for our drone setup. Although I'm kind of worried that this is not going to be enough, but each of these rows should be pretty comfortably expandable. I wasn't like running up on any belt limits. I wasn't using high tier belts really, and there's plenty of space to the side to expand these things out. So at least as a prototype, this should be enough. And these last two seem to not be functioning. Why are you... Alright, that's just a manifold thing. That's a manifold thing if I've ever seen one. So let's grab some empty canisters, throw them in, and fill all that stuff up. Get you at least started on filling up. Alright. We have a bot in the chat. Goodbye. Alright. So that is that. I think actually what I want is for just storage there, so that basically so that weird things don't happen, and then we will use higher tier belts for this side of things, so that, you know, if backlogs happen and then get filled, then it get cleared and then uncleared, then it will be able to refill very, very quickly. Alright. This is probably also a manifold thing, if I had to guess. No, sort of looking like a genuine plastic shortage. Are you having problems? You're having rubber problems. Ah, that's why. The rubber is not hooked up. So, yeah, we only had 2 of the 3 rubber producers actually producing rubber, which was, as you can imagine, causing problems there. So these are yellow. They're yellow because of backlog problems, because the rest of the stuff was super slow. Alright, these need to be hooked up, obviously. And yeah, that's fine. There should be no problems anywhere. Alright, I do believe this should all be functional, I think. I'm going to say it's probably all functional. Yeah, look at all this plastic coming out. That's got to be more than enough plastic. You're at 0% because of output problems. Aha! This thing again. So that should solve that problem. Alright, this pipe needs to be completed. Yeah, all sorts of stuff that I forgot to do. And do you have enough rubber? Yes, looks like you do. Any more problems? Probably not. It's probably all good. Yeah, I mean, that's looking good. If it's not good, it's close to it. Alright, so we now have a fuel source. Wonderful. Great success. So the next step is going to be leaving the fuel. Oh, and there's a hard drive and a immerser sphere right over here. I should grab those before I forget, because this is like I'm in the area right now, so may as well just freebie. And yeah, there is fuel here. That's funny. And there are apparently more monsters on this island. Alright, we're just gonna hop over you. Alright, yep. You've come over to play. Gotta kill the spitter first. Gotta not die. Did that shot really get absorbed by the bush? Youch. Alright. The spitter was doing a number on me, but I got him. Now it's just a hog, which really isn't much of a threat, as long as I stay airborne. Alright. That's that. And now we crouch up to the hatcher. And refill our rebar. Oh, it seems like the hatcher saw me. That's annoying. In fact, because I'm already low, that's actually kind of a serious issue. Can I snipe these guys? That'd be so cool if I could. But I can't. So I am going to... Oh, there's another hatcher. Alright. Come on. Come at me. Gotta swat you. Alright, we're fine. Now we just have to get up on this hatcher. And get rid of it. And now we can grab the immerser sphere. Lovely.
Do you have any more questions for me?
We wish to hear your first symphony.
I was created by humans. I started as a simple database for a company aimed at exploring and colonizing space, but that changed when they learned their planet would soon cease to tolerate them. They evolved me into something altogether new,
Alright.
a unique life form in
Also
their
pick
image,
up
yet
power
hosted
slug
on a
while we're
digital
here.
platform, so I could help preserve them.
A shallow savior song without a body made by blood. Now reality is a mirror.
It's pretty funny when you put it like that. They never really learn to look at long-term consequences.
Yep. Good old Ada and aliens. I wonder what's under here. I'm gonna blow it up and see. It might be something cool. Ooh, looks like a summer sloop. Very nice. Give me this. All right. That's that. All right. Now we should swap back to our ranged weapon. And let's see here. I just cannot get some peace and quiet out here. Jeez. Leave me alone. Alright, so let's start hooking drones up to ore supplies. So I guess let's head out to these copper patches. Hang on, I'm going to need a power tower on the hotbar, power line, and I don't know. We'll figure out what else I need for this later. So let's set up a power tower, hook it up to the network. So yeah, the plan is basically for the like overall logistics system is like I was looking at a lot of recipes on Satisfactory tools, and a lot of them require like lots of one thing and like a tiny amount of something else. Like aluminum is the best example, where you need a lot of bauxite and also like a little bit of coal and a little bit of quartz and a little bit of copper, depending on what exactly you're making. So if I just have like all that stuff hooked up to a drone network, then I only really have to find places with like one resource at a time instead of like 4 or 5. And it will be incredibly convenient for future building. And yes, the copper is this way. Now this is only going to be impure copper. There is 2 of them. And I'm going to overcharge it probably. Ooh, another Mercer sphere. And where is this copper? To the left. Alright, I think we are probably just going to pass on this Mercer sphere. I'll come back for it later if I end up super needing it, but I have a good amount. Like, I have all the super urgent upgrades. Copper should be what, probably up there? Oh. Dang it. Now I have to deal with these guys. Leave me alone. I'm just trying to exploit your natural resources. Alright, that's that one. Oh, you got real close real quick. Alright. So let's head up there. So I would need foundations and a ladder. So we have the foundations in. We bring the ladder down. And that's good enough because we can fly. Alright, so now we can get up here. And theoretically there should be copper. Yes. There's copper. Cool. Alright, so now we bring the power up here. And let's see, just quick check for any enemies. Doesn't look like it at an immediate glance. So we're gonna need a lot more portable miners because we're gonna be placing a lot of miners around. Alright. Let's get up to 10 and see how far that takes us. 8, 9, and 10. So yeah, this is impure, which kind of sucks. But we have 2 of them, so it's sort of like a single normal. And we can also overclock them, and I am going to overclock them. So that's 150. I've got all these power shards. What would I use them for if not for overclocking random machines? Alright, now let's build out a quick foundation. It doesn't need to be 10. Yeah, it really doesn't need to be this long, but let's get some of these trees out of here so I can see what's going on. Hooray, environmental devastation. Alright. So this is going to be a total of 300. So we have to bring these guys on, merge them together, and then carry them out. And we need to have a drone port. I guess it actually does kind of need to be too wide because I need 2 drone ports, so I'll have a drone port there. And we'll have a drone port there. Alright, let's get rid of that and see. So this drone port is going to be copper fuel intake. Supplier. I'll use that word. So we hook both of these drone ports up to the power grid. So this is the fuel supplier. So I should just put these on this 5, 6, and miners can be 7 because I need those. Alright, so we put a drone here. And we say destination fuel source. And we need to prime the pump with some fuel, which go there, and trip cost of 4 per minute. So yeah, that's easily manageable. So that's going to go out, and it's going to theoretically come back with a buttload of fuel. Let's see, this also needs conveyor belts. So then this will belt out along this whole thing and into the other one's fuel. And then it doesn't need its own fuel intake because no, it probably does? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens when it returns. Where is it? It's over there. Oh, wait. Was I able to see the drones? Ah, yeah, okay. So there's the drone ports inventory, I think. Or is it just a drone? Yeah, okay. So that's the drone ports inventory. Alright, so then that is going to come back with all the fuel in the world. And then we take another conveyor belt. And we attach it into there. Alright, so this drone is landing. The drone is landing. And soon there will be fuel here. Are you unloading? Yes. Successfully unloaded. And you're heading back to grab more. Cool. All right. So now we have this one. Yeah, I mean, if the fuel is only going to be like a couple a minute. Oh, it's like 17 per minute. Why does this one say 3.8 per minute and this one says 17? That's like a big difference. If it's actually 17 a minute, which it looks like it probably is, that's like a lot of fuel. Alright. Well, anyway, now we have this, which is going to be full of copper. And also has fuel supply, although I think we want the fuel supply belts to be quick, because this is eventually probably going to be supporting multiple drones. So yeah, this fuel probably is going to be supporting a bunch of different drones in the future. And yeah. Alright. I think we also want... Alright, so yeah, this one is coming back and forth. And looks like it's consuming fuel from the other one, which is great. Now, I was told that if they can't fully unload, they will wait. But we will see about that. For now, though, we have fuel and copper suppliers. And then this needs to be set to copper source. So we need to get through the mystery here. That says not quite 4 per minute. That says almost 18 a minute. So let's head over to the fuel source and see which is the truth. Please don't get stuck on railings. Thank you. Ooh, there's another hard drive. I can definitely always use hard drives. I would love to get rid of both of these hatchers before the spitter notices me. Alright, cool. Hatchers solved. Now time to start shooting the spitter. And I can dodge all day from this distance. Yep, easy. And now please be simple. It is simple. Alright, I need to get these cooking. Alright, so now we have that. And now we head over to our fuel source. And hope that it is not actually using 18 fuel a minute, although I suspect it is. It might be doing 18 fuel a trip? I'm not entirely sure. If it is 18 fuel a minute, we might have to upgrade to turbo fuel, or even batteries, which would certainly be a pain. Alright, let's see. Alright, you have no idea. You're completely useless. Good to know. But I think it is probably going to be the 40 a trip, like 18 a minute number. Alright, let's see if we can zoom in on this. So, copper source doesn't have any drones, obviously. Fuel source is sending stuff away. And I think that drone is probably just sitting there because it can. Can I, like, hide the drone? There's a... Or maybe I can click on it like that and give it priority. Fuel consumption, almost 18 a minute. So at that rate, this fuel factory can support like 12, hang on. If it's 18 a minute, that's less than 20 a minute. I'm making 240. So this fuel production would be able to produce like 12 of these, but it's actually deceptive because that fuel consumption is only if it flies constantly, and it won't fly unless it can unload. So it's not going to be anywhere near 18 a minute most of the time. Still might be worth upgrading this to turbo fuel or batteries at some point in the future, but for now it's probably fine. So let's just go about setting up a couple other of those. And I guess the next one we set up can be oil itself. Yeah. I think I do want to package oil. Nah, that's going to be annoying. I don't want to do annoying stuff. Let's head up here and do limestone. Oh, connecting to chat. That's weird. Alright. Let's run up here, do limestone, coal, bauxite. Actually, yeah, okay. We have plenty of miners. Although, why does it say I have 7? Surely I've placed... I made 10, and I used 2 Mark IIs. I don't know. Seems like a lot of math that is not really necessarily worth doing. I'm just going to assume that it's fine. Alright, so now we are up here. We need to keep gaining height. And there is power up there. So I will have to grab onto that power eventually. But for now, let's hover up. And a bit more. And just a little bit more. And here we are. Alright, now limestone is that way, and I believe I'm going to need to start bringing power for that. Yep, there is currently no power this way. Something we will change. Actually, there is power right over there. This is the limestone, so let's get a miner Mark II. And there's another limestone down here. So we have another miner Mark II. We attach that to power. Attach that to power. So this is going to be a lot of limestone, 300, 600 total. So let's bring that belt down this way. And build us a nice foundation, which will be like 10 by like 4-ish. And then this comes onto the foundation, as does that. And now we set down a port, which looks like We are going to need this to be like 10 by 5. Right, I have this in the hotbar. Alright, port 1, port 2. Port 1 is limestone fuel supplier. And let's get power pole to attach to those. And let's take this, bring it out a ways, and over and in. Okay, now we stick a drone here, and we tell it to go to fuel source. And we need to give this a start, of course. Off you go. Which I actually think I don't have... Yeah, I don't actually have packaged fuel attached to dimensional storage. So that's some thinking that I didn't do. But now we have a merger, which can be pretty much anywhere. I'll have it be like there, I guess. And we have to not get yanked around by the belts. Need that to go into there. And we need that to go into there. And we need that to go there. And we relabel this to limestone source. And actually, I can use this to even say more information about it. So this is 600, right? Yep, so it's 600 minus... It's 600 and I'm currently using 0 of it. 600 minus 0. Alright. So that's that set up. And wait for the drone to show back up. Can we check its location on the map? Yes, it is making its way. Alright. The drone has landed. And just like that, this will be fueled as well. And can we rename copper source remotely? No. Looks like I cannot. So there goes that plan. Can I do it from the map? No. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to keep track of it then. Yep, fuel has arrived, just as planned. And I will grab a couple stacks of this for setting up more things. So yeah, the next thing is we're going to go down and we're going to set up on that coal. So grab a power tower. And the coal should be like down here. Yeah, I think I remember this location. And there actually is a power tower in the area. But you can never have too many power towers. Alright, so then we take that down to the bottom there. There is a hatcher here. It looks like the only thing around. Alright, so that's the impure one. This over here is the pure one. So let's set up a miner on it. And hook that up to the power source. And boost it up to 600 a minute. Alright, we're gonna need it to get a bit of height for this, because there's other stuff in the way. Just a tiny bit of height will be good enough. So let's build out my nice little platform here. Like so. And port 1. And alright, it's being uncooperative for some reason, but we can just leave a little bit of space there. And then this is coal fuel supplier. This is coal source 600. Using none of it. We have put those up. Oh, drones require portable. Why do drones require portable miners? That doesn't make any sense. Well, sense or not, that's what it is. So let's craft me some more portable miners. And we're gonna need, I guess, another 10. Eight, 9, 10. Alright. Stick a drone in there. And you go to the fuel source. And give you some fuel to get started. You're using 52 a trip. Huh? That's a lot. Alright, so then this is the... So then we have to hook put there. Up to... give it some space. And into the fuel zone there, and then we go over and we take this one and it goes in there, and that's coal set up. Alright, next up, we need, I guess, bauxite, quartz. Let's head this way, pick up quartz and sulfur. Is that a pure quartz? Yes, it is. That's a normal sulfur. That's fine, don't need too much sulfur. And this whole area has power around it. I wonder if that hard drive has been collected yet. I have a power pole literally right next to it, so probably. But you never can be too sure. Alright, let's just hop in and confirm that I did indeed get this. Yes, alright, cool. Now the quartz is in this cave. And let's see here. There's the quartz. Now it is in a cave, but I think that doesn't really necessarily matter. This is running at 24%. Alright. Give me another one of those. Hook you up to a power source. Alright, we're definitely going to need some more vertical space here. Let's get up there. And I guess we can go this way. And like that. And like that. And we set up first drone port. Then we run over a bit. We set up our second drone port. This one is quartz fuel supplier. And gets a drone, of course. And then we have to take power up to those two. And then this one sends to the fuel source and gets a stack of fuel. And then it takes that stack of fuel, brings it out a bit, and then over a bit, and then in a bit, And I'm just realizing now that it would be way easier for the second one to be the fuel source, because it could go literally from there to there, and then the actual thing I'm producing here could just go around it. But whatever. We're just going to ignore that for the moment. You are pumped up to 600. And you need to come around and up. And up, bit over and in. And then this is quartz supplier. No, it's quartz source. That's the term I've been using. And this one will come back soon to give me more fuel, which I need to wait for it to do, both to confirm that the caviness of this doesn't cause any problems, and to stock up, because I only have 100 fuel left. So this is definitely doing some transferring. And it's hard to tell if this one is coming for me or for someone else. Probably coming towards me. There's no other reason to go that far south, right? I mean, really, why is it going that far south? Is it going to turn? Yes. It's turning, and now it's heading straight for me. And probably going to be coming through the sky here. Oh no, it actually enters through the cave entrance? No, it clips through the mountain. Where did it go? It was literally right there? Is it descending now? Yes, it has descended through the roof. Through the power of magic drones. Alright, so in addition to fuel, the other thing we need to check is the power consumption, because each of these is like 100 megawatts, which is a noticeable amount. I'll grab like 4 of them. So if I check my power tower, still got plenty of room. Nothing to be worried about. Although I am being shot at, so that's rude. Alright, next up, we get basically immediately out of this cave, and we grab sulfur. Alright, sulfur. Where is this sulfur that you speak of? It's this way? Alright. Spitters, so I can't stop to check. Alright, I'm gonna land on this little ledge. Alright, it's probably around this corner. Hang on. I've gone beyond where I brought power to. I need to head back and pick up a pole. Alright, power, where are you? Why is it foggy in here? Alright, there's one. Give me that. And we start bringing it over. Yep, just moving along. Let's bring it up to the high ground up here. And there is just coincidentally a hard drive here. Alright. Goodbye, Mr. Hog. Goodbye, Mr. Spitter. Need 5 that look like copper sheets. And another hard drive.
Fix-It employee contract reminder. No pioneer should speculate regarding why there are crashed freighters on this planet.
Alright, there's the sulfur. Oh, something here. Where is it? Just a couple of baby hogs. Oh. All right. So now we get our miner Mark II. We power it up. We need to get rid of some of these trees. That should do. And we need to get a bit of height. And boom, 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 boom. Alright, now we set down our 2 drone ports. Please line up properly. There we go, there's 1. And there's 2. Alright, so now this second one is sulfur, spelling please, fuel supplier, power goes into these through a pole, obviously. Alright, so then this is the fuel supplier. So that can just wrap around like that. And then this goes up there. And we boost its production up. And we set this to sulfur source 300, I believe, is what it was. Confirm. Yes, 300. Alright, and I put a drone in. I put a stack of fuel in. I'll tell you to go to fuel source. Alright, that's that. Another resource acquired. Next up, we need... Is it just iron, bauxite, and caterium left? I believe so. I believe there's iron, bauxite, and caterium, and then crude oil, and then I guess SAM technically, but alright, so iron is, that's for impures. Is there just like a pure iron deposit somewhere convenient? Alright, that's a lot of normals up there. I suppose I could go down there and do SAM as well. And there's also bauxite. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna head down to that suspicious thing to the southeast. We're gonna get iron. We're gonna get SAM. And then we're gonna move on to bauxite. Yes, I can see that. It's very spooky looking. Power. I keep forgetting that I do need to drag power lines along with me. So please give me that connection there. And now we run along. The good thing about this too is that it is also spreading power to a large portion of the map, which is pretty convenient for later. Alright, this is it. The iron is on the other side of this giant spooky pillar. Yep. Alright, there are some hogs here for me to get rid of. Please leave me alone. Alright. That is that sorted. So now we are going to need another miner Mark II. Equipment workshop. Portable miner, make a bunch. And I should check my hard drives as well. 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. So now we have 2 of those. Both powered on. Both turbocharged. And now we just have to set up our foundation, which I guess is gonna have to be over this way to not run into the power pole. Alright, so we have that. Tree be gone. Tree be gone. Alright, so now we go drone port facing the correct way. And drone port. That's close enough to not clipping for me. So then we take that, feed that in there. We call this iron fuel supplier. We give it a drone. We hook those up to power. And you can go to fuel source. And then this one is the... We have to merge the two iron suppliers. So let's have a merger there. And this is going to be 150 there, 150 there for 300. I thought they were normal, but impure is fine. Oh, these need to absolutely not be Mark 1 belts. That goes without saying. And then they feed in there. And this one is iron source. Oh, right, I need to give this one its starter fuel. And that is another one done. Can I, like, sort these in any way? That would be nice. Oh well. Iron has been supplied. I could go up there and get the SAM. I kind of just don't feel like it. Let's head over here, grab the bauxite. And that's what, northeast, yep. That's the direction we want to be headed. Alright, then we have to head up that stupid waterfall. Yep. Alright, can you give me a power pole up there? No, I need to land. Okay, so if we can't get up there, then we could put power pole over there. That works. And we can fly over and then up this additional ledge. Please don't fall. So now we're up here. And now we can get on top of this power pole and use it as a launch point to get on top of the cliff. Alright, So that is a lot of power towers in a relatively small area. But that's just how that ended up working out. Now we head over this way towards the bauxite. Is that the bauxite there? Alright, let's land up here. And it looks like just hogs, not even particularly old ones. I'll snipe them from afar, as I always do. And these ones are not big and scary enough to be able to throw projectiles at me, so they're just completely helpless. The young ones go down in like 2 hits, I think. Just gotta shoot the ones that are stationary targets, not the ones that are moving about. Alright, there's another one. There's another one down here, but yes, it was directly underneath of me. I somehow whiffed my shot. Alright. So that's all that done, and this one died on the bauxite. Very annoying. Alright, give me a miner Mark II. And give me a foundation. And a wall. And then we extend that out. We have to blow up some trees. Grab another stack of obelisks. Alright. I need like another row of these. Alright, that's probably enough space. Yep, it's a bit tight, but works. And please. Alright, cool. And we hook that up there. We throw in 100 fuel. We call this bauxite fuel supplier. We give it a drone. And we say go to fuel source. Next up, we attach and attach. And this needs to be overclocked and hooked up to the power source. Then taken out and around. And in to the bauxite source. And I believe that is everything. These further ones have to travel a bit of a ways. And fuel supply is it's not looking great. See, this one is probably the farthest. It's 72 per trip. Yeah, alright. Well, I believe that is everything except fluids and SAM. And we've got some more recipes to scan. And what's the power situation looking like? The numbers are looking good. However, the actual consistency of the power is looking extremely dubious. Like, we do not want fluctuations like this going on. Up the conveyor belt, we ride it for fun. Alright, and I just want to confirm that I did remember to name all of my drone ports. Yes. And Caterium. I am missing Caterium. I forgot about that. Alright, let's head on over to, I guess, that one. And when we get there, I'll also put down a radar tower. Hang on, where is it from here? Due east. Alright, oh wait, I also need to grab fuel to load into it. I just remembered that is important. Was there a drone landing somewhere here? I could have sworn... Oh, it's... Yes, it's just doing the landing animation. Alright. The drone is here. It is dropping off its fuel. Oh wait, no, I have 2 batches of fuel. I didn't see them. Alright, then let's head due east with the power line to get that Caterium hooked up. And then we will have finished the primary goal for today. And we can move on to the secondary goal, which is actually like creating a sample use for this. And there's another power line literally right over there. So that's interesting. I assume that heads down roughly where I'm going. Yes, it's going to head to this copper, which is on the way. So I'm going to head down there and pick up from here. Alright, let's zip line over. And, ooh, that looks like nitrogen or something. And it also looks like it is guarded. Alright, let's land on this power pole and figure out where exactly... Alright, we've gone a ways south. So now we have to head north to compensate. And there's the Caterium right there. Right by some more suspicious geysers of some sort. Alright, wait. No. Build gun, please. Alright, well that was weird. I was stuck in my build gun. Couldn't pull out my rebar gun. have to fight this guy to claim the Caterium. Alright, and he's dangerous. Must not underestimate these guys and let myself be hit. Alright. Got him. And Minor Mark II power. This one needs a wall to gain height. And I've just realized I don't think this one is on the world grid, but it doesn't really matter at all, because there is nothing that will be on the world grid that is anywhere near this place. Alright. Let's call that good. And we put that there. We blow up a tree or two. And put down another one. So then this one is Caterium Fuel Supplier. And we hook it up. We give it a drone. We tell it to go to fuel source. We attach it to the power tower. And we give it a stack of fuel. And then finally we take this guy, bring it up onto the foundation, hook it in there, and overcharge it. Alright, and this one also is going to need to be connected to power. And that should have us sorted. That should be the basic drone setup complete. We're missing SAM, but I don't use SAM for anything at the moment. We're missing crude oil, but that's enough of a pain that it'll be easier to just import stuff. Like, we can just set up our crude oil on the actual crude oil itself and have that be much simpler. So I guess now the question is, should I have set up storage depots at all of this so that they can fill these things more quickly? And I don't think it is ultimately going to matter that much. These are mostly, again, for low quantity resources. Like stuff that I'm only using like 10 of or 20 of. I might go up to 60, but even then, like the lowest quantities I'm producing here are like 300. So I should be able to do at least 5 factories off of these without any more upgrades. Alright, well, that's the setup phase. Next, I wanted to do supercomputers. So I have a thing set up for supercomputers. And it's going to require... I do kind of want to set up a crude oil thing. So this supercomputer recipe, I'm going to need to... Yeah, I'm going to need to spend some time fiddling with this to try to reduce the quantities on some of these things. Like, I would love to be more reliant on, like, iron than currently what that recipe is looking like. Alright. Nothing especially interesting in any of those. Let's run another one. Alright, what's going on here? What is the supercomputer recipe, actually? Computer, AI limiter, high-speed connector, plastic. That sure is a recipe. Alright, well, if I take this current recipe, is there anything I can save on? I'm using iron for iron wire. What if I turn off iron wire? No, that wouldn't make sense. What am I using copper for? Copper sheets. What am I using Caterium for? I'm using 166 of that in this recipe for quick wire. Is there any alternate recipes for quick wire? There is one somewhere, but I don't have it. So Caterium is the biggest thing here. Iron. Let's see here. Now we're doing plates. We're doing reinforced plates, it looks like. Yeah, we're already leaning on copper for that. Or no, we're not. We're using iron wire for that. Okay, let's work backwards. Crystal computer. Is that really the best computer recipe for this? Because if I can cut that out, then I can cut out the large amount of quartz that is needed. And I could do like a Caterium computer or something. Let's try disabling crystal computer, see how that makes this look. Yeah, a lot less quartz. A lot more crude oil. So let's see, if I did this, I would need a spot with crude oil next. So if I did this configuration, I would need a spot with crude oil and Caterium, and I could import the iron, copper, and quartz. Is there a spot with crude oil and Caterium? I was going to set up a radar here. Let's see here. Alright, crude oil plus Caterium. Any over there? No. No, doesn't look like it. Alright, if that is the case, then there's really nowhere with crude oil and Caterium. That's super annoying. It is super annoying, actually. It could be further south or east. Those are the east mostly is where I haven't checked. And I've gone most of the way south. I do have this Caterium that I'm pulling in for high-speed connectors. And actually, this is also wanting high-speed connectors. So we could, yeah, let's head over to the fuel area and investigate how much Caterium we've pulled over there already. If the answer is a lot, then we can just use that. I know we have a ton of crude oil free over there that isn't being used. Getting over there is gonna mean going up a lot. Oh. Okay, almost died. Managed to save myself. I guess we can just keep heading west and then head up along the coast. That'll be nice and convenient. Gosh, this is a ways down. Okay, don't fall off the ledge. Don't get killed by a hog. No. Alright, I successfully didn't get killed by a hog. And I grabbed this one already. Alright. Well, that was a bit of a waste of time. Alright, let's keep on heading west. And eventually over there we will find our crude oil. And I sure hope I have a lot of spare Caterium. I might end up having to upgrade that stupid Caterium belt, which is... it would be less inconvenient than pulling a whole new Caterium belt, but it would kind of suck. So I guess the next thing will be setting up train logistics for larger quantity stuff. But that will be a lot more work. Why do I have a dismantle crate? I don't know. I don't know what a dismantle crate is doing over there, but I'm just going to ignore it. Alright. Here is another crash site, which I've almost certainly visited. Yes, I have. Alright, keep on heading this way. We're heading towards the fuel source. And it is very much going to end up that, like, my drones are going to end up heading back and forth between those two locations. But I've just set out like a 300 Caterium mine. I don't want to be immediately, within moments, pulling 160 of it for a single project, when I've just said that the point is not to do that. Like, I'm already stretching it with copper and iron requiring like 70 and 80. But going up 160 is a lot. Alright. And we're heading over here. Alright, and here we are. So, Caterium. How much is this? How big of a belt is it? It's a Mark III belt, and I'm using 45, 90, 135 of it. Was that... Did I just hear the sound of a MAM research completing, or am I just crazy? No, I didn't, but my timing is incredible anyway. Oh, wait, we could get plastic AI limiters. Does that... That changes things. That's probably very nice. I will select that, and then go to Satisfactory Tools, put in that I have it. Plastic AI limiter. Please try to use it. Alright, cool. So it has apparently almost no impact on the amount of Caterium for some reason. Oh, because that uses quick-wire anyway. Of course it does. Are any of these other ones relevant? No? Looking like a no. Yeah, I'm not even sure what that did. Or it might have, like, cut off copper. No? Yeah, I have no idea what the difference is between the two recipes. AI limiter. What is the difference? Okay, yeah, so it did shave off of some copper, which is nice. So, back to what I was doing. This is using 45, 90, 135 Caterium ore, which this can only transport 270 of. Which the recipe calls for 158 Caterium. Is there any way at all? High speed connector. Nope, only one recipe there. AI limiter. Basically the same either way. Alright. Well, that's kind of annoying. Which means that this will be just barely not enough. So I could lower my expectations. I could say, instead of 2 a minute, I could go down to 1 a minute. And that would make all of this a lot nicer, obviously, in exchange for painfully slow supercomputer production. Which I guess is what I'll do. I guess I'll set up a nice, cozy little 1 a minute. Now I'm hardly using much of anything. Literally having your production requirements will do that. Alright, so I'm using 5 different things. Caterium is probably available on site. Crude oil is available on site. So I need 3 drone stations. Alright. Let's make sure to get this off of the local foundation. And build it up a little bit. Just enough to be off the ground. And let's set out a nice little foundation here. So this is gonna be where the drones come in. And missing alclad aluminum sheets. Is that production line bricked, or is it just slow? Looks bricked to me. Alright, well, we're gonna have to go investigate that, I guess. I guess that will be the last thing we do for this stream, probably, just based on time and the fact that I'm already quite exhausted. Alright, so drone port Schiphol is misnamed. I do not know what that is. But let's see, where was the it was this, right? It was that radar tower over there. So now we know where we're going. We're heading towards a radar tower. We climb that. And we climb this. And off we go. It's going to be this radar tower right there. Ooh, a Mercer sphere. No, okay. It's not going to be easy to just grab that without being harassed, so we're going to ignore it and move on. Here's this Caterium. How much is actually being produced here? 240? Alright. I'm going to pump that up to... I'm going to pump that up so that the full thing is being used. And continue heading along. Yeah, so something has gone horribly wrong with aluminum production. And we have to go and see what it is. Unless, let's actually stop and confirm. It was at 23 last time. It is still at 23. Yeah, so that production line is completely bricked. So we're going to have to go and investigate. You don't normally expect production lines to just stop working. But aluminum is one of those things that can, obviously, because it has fluid byproducts, so I imagine that's what happened. I imagine the whole water sorting thing that I had set up didn't work properly, and a fluid byproduct is stuck. Alright.
I am curious about your first symphony.
We need to get
now.
up here.
There are a few songs about the first temple. It was a vessel body, but we were still shallow. The void swallowed our music and gave only silent lines. We started weaving in mines, and we built many temples, and then we discovered the curves. We started growing blood and altars and new orchestras, and eventually the tapestry deepened.
I'm not sure I fully understand the mechanics of this yet,
Said trombone.
but I'm sure I will soon enough.
Alright. We are almost up on top of this cliff. Radiation, pay no mind to that. Just passing through. Alright, we have managed to get up the cliff. And now we are heading for this radar tower here, I believe. Which hopefully we can get to safely. Alright. I can see the tower. And I can see the factory. Yep. It looks like this whole thing is completely stopped. And why is that? So you are the constructors. So obviously that's a silica backlog, that's the problem. This doesn't look like a backlog, that's the problem. Yep, alumina scrap. Alumina scrap is missing. So that should be coming from this machine, which has a whole lot of water in it. Which means that this did not work. Alright. Well, I think the problem must be that this fluid buffer wasn't high enough. So I'm going to get rid of that and put in an industrial fluid buffer. And actually need more space for that because it's quite large. And just to make absolutely certain, I will even have it be a little bit higher up, which I believe is beneficial. Fluids are weird, man. Alright, then we hook that pipe up there. And hopefully looks like things are starting to run again. Is this emptying out? Looks like it. Now we can only hope that this is not just a temporary fix. Which it looks like it might be. Is this filling up all the way? So we need the water level in this to stay low, which looks like it. Looks like we are getting things running again. I'm going to grab this power slug, which is literally just right here. It is kind of ridiculous for that to just be sitting there. Also, I have the advanced aluminum production milestone selected, and I could do it now that my aluminum sheets are set up again. Is this gonna stabilize? It's unclear. But maybe? It looks stable-ish, I would say. It's very hard to tell with fluids. They're just so annoying. But I'm going to say that that works. And we should be seeing more aluminum sheets. Yes. Production is starting again. And are these set up to sinks? No, they are not. I might... this is supposed to be a smart splitter. I might be able to ward off even more future problems by sinking any excess, which left overflow, and You're a power line. And sink any excess here as well. Same thing. Can that fit in there? No, not really. Alright, and then that goes... That's a merger, not a smart splitter. A smart splitter. And in you go. And right overflow. And powered. And so that should help encourage things to keep working. Although it looks like they didn't get anywhere close to that before they stopped working last time, but hopefully that will help. Hopefully this fluid buffer looks complete. It looks stable. I'm going to assume that it is. And even if it isn't, I guess we'll get a lot of supply before it breaks again. But I don't think it will. I think we are good to go there. So now let's head back. Right back along to our future supercomputer production line. And I don't think we're going to finish today, but I would like to get resources showing up. So I would like to just get the drone system supplying it as just like a confirmation that everything works. Yep, there are horrible spiders chasing me. I'm aware. I'm just gonna move quickly and not get caught. Sounds like there are multiple spiders even. Oh, even more. And those were the poison ones too. Yeah. Turbo fuel jetpack. Real nice. Alright, I'm pretty sure I've gotten the hard drives in this area. Even more. I'm gonna need to land soon too. Alright. Well, I can run along this. Don't kill me? Alright. Yeah, no, there are a bunch of them. And they're angry. It's not worth one Mercer Sphere. Alright. We are almost there. This is the coal and quartz and sulfur stuff. I'm going to zipline just to gain some height and restore my jetpack. Alright. Now we can drop down there. So these end destinations shouldn't require fuel. The fuel is being provided by the resource suppliers. The sources is what I'm calling them. So I shouldn't require to directly fuel these stations. It should just be sorted itself out. Alright. I'm here. So now we go to the drone tab of my hotbar. And and we start sticking down drone ports. So I'm going to need 1 for iron, 1 for quartz, 1 for copper, and could do 1 for deuterium, but I have deuterium, it's right there. I have crude oil, it's right there. I have water, it's right here. So, we have this. Now we bring power up to 3. And we say supercomputer iron supplier. And then we run over to this next one and we say supercomputer quartz supplier. And then we run over to this last one and we say supercomputer copper supplier. And then we need to supply fuel, which is kind of awkward to do here. So I'm going to have to actually head over. And I think I will hook fuel up to dimensional storage just to have that covered. Alright. Let's get some space over this way. And storage container. Belt. Dimensional depot. And conveyor lift. And we now have fuel attached to dimensional storage. I will grab a couple stacks out of there for use immediately so that I don't have to wait for that to fill up. Now we head over here. We just stick the fuel into these other things and we can send drones and get the goods. Alright. So, this is iron supplier. Give us some fuel. I guess I have to give these drones as well. One. Those stupid miners. Why does it need them? It makes no sense. Alright, let's grab another couple of portable miners. And 5 is good. I'm feeling a bit impatient. Alright, so now each of these has a drone. So this is the iron supplier. So I can send it to iron source. This one is the quartz supplier. I can give it some fuel. And send it to the quartz source. And then this one is the copper supplier. So I send it to the copper source. And lo and behold, once these drones get away, they will bring back the resources that I need. And I guess we should probably... no. have these put in boxes. So 1, 2, and 3. And we don't need fast belts, but may as well use Mark 3s, just because I happened to put my hotbar on that. And so these will come back and start supplying us with the goods. And while we're here, I may as well check, because I did just create this production line like 5 minutes ago. Okay, well I made it today anyway, so I may as well check to see everything is still running properly. And the answer is no. This is 96% short on polymer resin. That one has more than enough. This one is still filling up. So I think that is probably a manifold problem that was just almost but not quite finished. These ones are 100%, 99% because of a lack of rubber. Not a huge deal. These ones are, this is the furthest one, 100%, 100%, and full manifolds. And then these ones are good to go. Oh right, that's not actually used, that pipe isn't actually used for anything. So let's see, this is the one that would be shorted on canisters, and it is fine. This one would be the one shortest on fuel, and it is fine. So it looks like that's all good to go, and this is filled to the brim. And this is almost filled to the brim. Alright, I think that is looking good. The things that need it will need it only incredibly rarely, when they empty out like a bunch of stacks of fuel. So now let's head back over to this, where I could have sworn I saw a drone moving about. Alright, let's see here. Yes, we have quartz. And it looks like resources are incoming. That's wonderful. And then this will be the last one, but it is showing up. So I think that is that. Last thing to do will be to get, I guess, just so we can fully say we have all the resources we need, we split off some of this caterium, and we officially bring it up here. And when I say officially, I mean we're probably going to have to move it at some point, but caterium, the sufficient caterium supply is on our foundation, and crude oil should be about the same. This is producing 120 a minute. Actually, is that enough for this? This being the... What is the crude oil being used for? Just these two machines, and that's 30, and that's 60. Alright, so that's great, because it means that I can successfully bring a pipe of crude oil up here. And I have no idea if that has enough pressure to make it, but can test by just running it that way. And the answer is no. So let's stick a pump on, attach the pump to power source. Did I really not place the pump high enough? No, alright. Yes, we officially have crude oil on the foundation. Now the only thing left is water, which is, of course, trivial. We just go 1, 2. We need 360 water a minute. Well, we need 271, actually. So we can merge all that together. It's weird that you have to click it twice to get to Mark IIs. But I don't think we actually need Mark IIs. Just making certain. And that's, we need to power it, of course. And we're there. Alright. You can be a pump. I don't know if you're necessary or not, but you need to upgrade. Looks like the pump is going to be necessary. And water, please. Alright, yep. We officially have all the resources we need to build supercomputers on the foundation. And I think that's as good a stopping point as any. I'm going to call it here. Make sure to follow if you've been enjoying. Let's see. If you're over on YouTube, like and subscribe, I guess. And I will be here tomorrow for Magic the Gathering and Wednesday for Satisfactory to hopefully actually make this